Co-main event time, Dean Midhat, a big fan favorite, the Romanian Marius Bogdan, 4-1, one of the most elite guys in this division in the UK scene here tonight in London. A very gifted wrestler, but he's got mad power. Your assessment of what he's going to be able to bring to the table against Shaun Luther.
Marius comes in with a great wrestling pedigree. Shaun Luther, again, very scrappy. He's able on the inside to break away and pound those hooks out. So I think that can be a key. If he can bring that into the table to create that distance, he's going to do well.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our penultimate contest of the evening. Please welcome the first fighter to enter the cage, Shaun Luther.
Co-main event time here at the Rise of Champions. Chris Hookster calling all the action. Ringside with Dean Midhat and Dean. Shaun Luther out of the blue corner, and Team Savage makes his way to the ring.
Shaun Luther brings to the table very fast hands, great whipping leg kicks, and excellent wrestling.
Talk about his ability on the ground, and he's quick to get back up to the feet, but he's not just a one-trick pony. Very slick in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Watch out for his tight triangle and very fast guillotine. They'll often snap the head down and cinch you up really quickly.
Game tough, always coming forward. You know, one of the key problems for this fight is to be able to get past those bombs that Marius throws. What do you think it's going to take for him to get that inside motion, get hold of his opponent, and finish this fight?
He needs to pick his ample opportunities to come in and set it up with strikes on the outside. Don't do the classic Ron doing and put your head down before you shoot. Keep that head up so you can see what's in front of you.
And more importantly, then try to capitalize on that neck, given the wrestling pedigree of Marius. But either way, he's here. Shaun Luther, co-main event, all the action. Back to Grant Waterman for his opponent.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the second fighter to enter the cage, Marius the Brave Bogdan.
And it's Marius Bogdan back in action here in London, a big fan favorite on the circuit here in the United Kingdom. The Romanian sensation, Dean, renowned for big finishes.
He's known across the board for his 100% TKO win rate in all of his fights. Very heavy hands with a knockout power in each.
Great boxing, great head movement, great power puncher, stands planted, ripped and ready to rock in the pocket. But also an improved fighter with that footwork, Dean.
Never keeps his head on the center line, and he uses a lot of fakes to make his opponent react, miss, and then comes in with heavy punches.
But if he gets you down, he'll make you pay.
Very reactive fighter, in and out footwork, dominating ground and pound on the ground there, Chris. Very dynamic grappling skills with exquisite scrambles.
So, going back now to his opponent, you highlighted to me earlier in the pre-fight media scrum that it might come down to the kicking game between these two.
Setting up the opening techniques, both these fighters have good submission rates, good grappling skills, and the ability to get in very tough. So they're going to have to meet each other in the middle and throw some stuff that's perhaps unorthodox out of the box to catch the other one out.
And possibly, if Shaun is able to kick Marius and slow him down, chop out that base, you figured that might be an important tactic.
To take that spring out of that lead leg is paramount in the boxing and in the wrestling. If you haven't got that spring, that explosive power in your lead legs, you're going to be slower.
Well, here he is, Marius Bogdan, 4-1. In to bring it home for the crowd tonight. Co-main event, Rise of Champions. Back to Grant Waterman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is in the Rise of Champions lightweight division. Introducing these two warriors. The fighter standing in the blue corner. He weighed in at 155.7 pounds. He represents Team Savage. He is Shaun Luther. And standing across the cage in the red corner, he went in at 155.9 pounds. He represents Team Titan. He is Marius the Brave Bogdan. The referee in charge of this contest is Sam Luther.
event time here at the Rise of Champions 2. Live from London, referee in charge Sam Amidi brings these two guys together out of the red corner in this lightweight MMA bout. Marius Bogdan from Team Titan, 4-1, taking on Shaun Luther in the blue corner from Team Savage. Touch of gloves from both men. Chris Hoekstra rocking it all night long, live at commentary with D Midhat Dean. Another exciting matchup here in the ROC.
Luther coming out, utilizing those leg kicks to throw off the balance, gauge the distance early on. Bogdan quite happy on the outside, pouring that right hand out. You see him, watch him for the parry of the shots, and he'll come in with counters.
I love the way Luther steps in on that inside leg kick. He's doing it from just beyond boxing distance for Bogdan. But what he wouldn't want was to be backing up against the mesh and running out of space, because that's when Bogdan will go from 0 to 100.
Luther feigning the kicks there, watch him twist his hips forward to confuse his opponent, and then he'll throw something upstairs. Nice head kick.
But good coverage from Bogdan to nullify the impact. And Bogdan, having spent a lot of time recently all over the United States, he actually went on a training odyssey, if you will, all around from coast to coast, training in a lot of top gyms. So look to see some new tricks.
Bogdan's boxing skills in the pocket are something to be seen. Power in every single strike. Looking for the turning back kick there.
Beautiful stuff going 180 there. I've never seen Marius throw that technique before. The Romanian though, vicious right to a left hook. But Luther absolutely cold as ice in there. But this is what he doesn't want, is to run out of space here against the fence.
Big body shots there by Bogdan. Elusive is Luther, working on the outside. Got to keep his hands out as he does that though. Watch the body shots there. The uppercut just missed Chris.
And look at Bogdan sit down on those punches. Massive left hook. Shaun Luther, noticeably flustered from the impact of that barrage, switches up for that head kick, but blocked by Marius. Look at Marius rip to the body. Marius beckons him forward. Luther grins. And the crowd continues to chant here in our packed out venue in London, Dean.
Marius Bogdan happy to move his head off the center line. Excellent boxing skills in the pocket. Luther trying to find a way in there. Some success with the feints. I like to see him feign more punches and kicks and then capitalize on that and then move out. He can't stand in front of Bogdan with this power that he possesses to the body and to the head.
And more importantly, multiple punch combinations. But right now, he's doing a pretty good job of blocking most of those strikes to the head. He's been caught to the body a few times. But Marius very patient as well. Looking to counter and return fire. And there hasn't really been a feeling out process thus far in this fight. Marius showing the oblique kick, very nice. Certainly some improved footwork from this guy since the last time we saw him.
Like to see Luther go low with that kick and then come up high. Bogdan's doing a great job of utilizing that block on his right side, but we need to make his hands drop there if Luther wants success.
I like how Bogdan is cutting down the ring as well, but certainly staying very balanced and not overcommitting.
Bogdan's stalking down his opponent, waiting for that power shot and that barrage of punches he's known for. Luther on the outside there, bleeding from the left side of his nose, I believe.
And Luther circling to the right needs to be wary of that left hook. He's aware of the right, but he's got to make sure he keeps his hand up, and more importantly, doesn't walk into a left hook, because Bogdan is going to look to finish with it just like that. Overhand right to a left hook.
Nice combination there by Luther. Punches and bunches is what he needs. He needs to circle off, perhaps work for that takedown. Big punch there by Bogdan.
The left hook again. Right uppercut to an elbow. Absolute thrashing here from Bogdan. And certainly finding better penetration with those strikes. Luther on the back foot.
Excellent striking skills here from Marius. So comfortable just to stand in that pocket, in the danger zone, and trade and get success. Bloodied up his opponent thus far. Luther on the outside, forced to get tagged and not find a definitive way in or land any really decisive shots so far.
But it's been a lively performance from Luther. I mean, he stayed mobile. He certainly kept up the movement in and out of the pocket as well, and is happy to exchange.
Luther not holding back here. Nice pumping jab. I'd like to see him again use those feints and fakes to make Marius think twice, swing and a miss, and a kick and a miss there. Tit for tat thus far in this fight.
He's got to make sure when that jab comes out, it comes right back to his chin, because Marius was looking for the overhand right at multiple points in the last 30 seconds there, Dean. But on this occasion, it's been a lively performance from both individuals.
Marius, very impressive boxing, as we alluded to, but what's more impressive, he's not going to be lured into Luther's game. You saw Luther put his hands out as if to say, oh, you didn't hurt me. What he wants is Bogdan to come in and get sloppy, to drop those hands and open up that chin.
But on the flip side, what Luther would also like to do is probably try to catch him with one of those kicks. We saw him switch up very nicely, even moving backwards on a couple of occasions, up against the far side of the mesh, actually nearly catching Bogdan, but Bogdan had those hands up, and that's what saved him. On the flip side, though, Bogdan unable to get him down or even really considering that takedown yet, Dean. That's been an interesting takeaway, too.
Be interesting to see if Luther can mix up his strikes and then secure the takedown. If it has to go to decision, he's got to know that the takedowns, if he gets one, he can disengage if he needs to. But we know he's got a good submission game on the ground. Let's see if he brings it out in these later rounds.
Round 2 of a scheduled 3. 5 more minutes on the clock here at the Rise of Champions, live from the City Pavilion here in London tonight. And Bogdan and Luther meet in the center of the ring for this co-main event.
Bogdan showing he's got success. Low blow there inadvertently. Marius will get a bit of time to recover.
Slight offsides play there. Both fighters sent to their neutral corner here by head referee Sam Amidi. Up to 5 minutes to recover here under the unified rules on the clock. But Bogdan looks pretty comfortable here, Dean. I think that was probably one of the stepping in inside low kicks that Luther kept throwing that came upwards at an angle.
Luther can't be discouraged from this. He just needs to make sure they hit on target, but he's going to have success booting away that front leg, taking the power of the boxing skills away from Marius. Nice feint there. That's how he's going to have success. If you notice, when he feints, Bogdan doesn't know what to do, and he landed a nice head kick there, but it was blocked by Marius.
And there's the left hook again. Luther thinks about the shot. Bogdan, though, securing a left underhook very nicely to totally deny that. And then Bogdan returns the favor.
Now we will see the wrestling for MMA from Marius Bogdan, very dominating from the top, extensively diverse ground and pound. You'll see him punch from all angles. But wow, Luther, a great job of retaining the guard. That's under such a dominant opponent up against the cage. That's got to boost his confidence, Chris.
And Luther walking those legs a little bit higher here to possibly try and throw something up off his back. Using that collar tie with his right hand to control and break down the posture of Bogdan.
Nice short elbows there on the inside. That's a skill in itself to stay in that position, not get swept or submitted, and strike effectively down.
It's a fantastic point, Dean, particularly when he controls that can opener that brings up those short elbows really nicely. The way he clasps his hands together behind the neck of his opponent and then pummels in, almost like you're continuing to improve your position with your hand, but then in comes the elbow.
Contortion of the spine as we see it again up against the cage. Just that innate ability from Marius Bogdan to put that pressure downwards, keep on top, and land damage, effective damage from the top. Luther needs to circle away from this cage, perhaps threaten an armbar submission or underhook that leg. Look for the stand-up here. It's going to be very difficult to sweep Marius from this position. He's very sturdy in that position with his legs up like that and forcing his hips forward. Great downward pressure.
Interesting to see Marius try to create some conditions here to open up those legs and pass, and being unable to do so thus far.
Excellent ground and pound skills, but Luther on the bottom, still threatening, still showing Marius, you can't come here too far in because I'm going to submit you, which is in turn going to limit the amount of damage, because if Marius gets complacent there, sits around, chills, he'll get caught. Also, if he's there in the pocket, forcing his head down, he's going to get more strikes like we see now, more powerful strikes. So you see Shaun Luther working that overhook there to tie him up, pulling down on the head to limit the posture, Chris.
One of the things I like about Marius here, despite not passing, is that he does create a bit more of a dynamic problem within the guard. He's hand fighting and then striking, hand fighting and striking. So that certainly has been able to disallow the submission offense of Luther off his back.
Luther opting to stand up, covering up really well. Did a great job of evading those heavy shots from Marius. Marius got some beautiful head movement there. He'll throw a shot and his head will not be on that center line.
And Marius Bogdan showing some nice boxing. A little bit of weaving going on there. But it would seem to me the pace has slowed a little bit from Bogdan on the feet. And Luther still looks pretty fresh despite being suffocated on his back like that.
Marius throwing every single shot with conviction. This will take your cardio down. If you throw everything to knock somebody out, it's going to make you tired. Whereas Luther has been a bit more tactical with his energy. More efficient, if you will, Chris, thus far.
More economical, Dean.
Big punch there from Marius over the top. Nice head movement, beautiful slips from Marius. Luther needs to mix up these punches, throwing some head kicks to stop Marius being so confident and moving that head off the center line. Elbow and a miss from Marius.
And Marius did a nice job to check that low kick there. It was a really nice check. But at times he's being very predictable and coming straight forward, and he's constantly chasing Luther.
Some nice slips there, but you'll notice he leans his head off that center line. If Shaun Luther can dictate that pace and bait him to throw his head to one side, he could land him with a beautiful kick or even a knee. Oi! Big uppercut there from Shaun Luther. Falls straight into mount and it's all over.
Incredible, just like we talked about. Luther able to catch Bogdan coming in for an absolutely ridiculous finish. The way he masked that is absolutely just spectacular. He was balanced, he was in position to deliver power, and he caught Marius with the big bomb all the way from below, Dean.
That was so impressive how Luther overcome adversity, didn't lose an ounce of confidence, was able to force Marius to move his head around, kind of felt out the pace, felt out where his head would have been, and blam, with that uppercut right on the chin.
Wow, and it's another crazy finish here and another absolutely fantastic night. Co-main event win for Shaun Luther via stoppage here in the third round in London.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an extraordinary finish to a fantastic fight. But at 4 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round, our referee Sam Hamidi calls a halt to the contest, declaring your winner by way of ground and pound, Shaun Luther! Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for a young runner-up, Marius Bogdan. Shaun Luther via third round stoppage, and another incredible highlight here at the Rise of Champions.
Second round stoppage.
Shaun, it was a spectacular finish. Give us your thoughts on how you're feeling right now.
Not quite sunk in, really. Wasn't expecting it to go that way, but it did, so I'm happy with that.
Shaun, you were able to survive being on bottom. You were able to get right back up to your feet. Did you think he was tired there? Because I noticed you were setting him up as he was coming straight in on you.
That was the game plan, really, to like take advantage of like his size and how tired he'd be. But yeah, I was taking a bit of a beating in the first round, but I was still there and switched on, so I'm happy.
Shaun, without a doubt, a candidate for stoppage of the night here at the Rise of Champions. Congratulations one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, Shaun Luther.
just like to say thanks to all my coaches, Andy Brown for helping me with strength conditioning, and all the other guys in the team, my family and that. Cheers. Good, man.
Shaun Luther, ladies and gentlemen.